Yes, I said, okay.
Now, first, and then some do.
We have
me quick Xylem one. I saw about Facebook say, or Silva Sports say, but happy birthday to Hazard Guy Beidou. Hazard Guy Beidou, happy birthday, green up to from Xylem one. And a job so very nanti.
Yeah, Silva Sports. And as usual, we both radio and TV. The piano. We try as much as possible. Say more muti radio, even breaking it down, mama. Now, mama, we take more down, more TV, and the fancy stories, no. You're breaking it down, not just images I see they attach, and also a follow up. Now, I don't know what to call this a coincidence or what. But in the year 1999, Manchester United won the treble.
Okay.
FA Cup against Newcastle 2-0. Unya Paul Scholes ne Teddy Sheringham. So Munya the 2 goals ama Manchester United. Newcastle the proper position. In the Champions League, the drama in the last minute. Ole and Sheringham, yeah, fancy. After 90 plus minutes, we 2 goals. And Manchester United or match a team of friend Bayern Munich 2-1. The Champions League final. And again, in the English Premier League, over team of Arsenal. So United won the treble with Sir Alex Ferguson. Interesting, United treble no Moji, and Shada could go try. You see pictures of United for treble no in my folder. What you realize is that our next biggest hurdle was the Community Shield. And then I'm saying the Premier League, what a double and not treble. Community Shield ne a game between the winner of the Premier League and the FA Cup.
Okay.
And so what a double I did you second with league, and the amount on the ball. So in that season, because say United the league over Arsenal. So they had to play against Arsenal in the Community Shield. And this was a treble winning Manchester United side. Omaji FA Cup, Omaji Premier League, Omaji Champions League. And Omobabe Arsenal one team even a trophy. Because that season the League Cup was won by a team of Spurs. Omobabe Arsenal, their better performance was placing second in the Premier League. And Arsenal share United by 2-1 in that particular comp shield. That was the Arsenal side, and now we know one go Kano, we know bit say Patrice Vieira, we know Frederick Lumbeck, we know Robert Perry, Muse Omujinamu, Asia Kain, Ediama team of Arsenal. And Omode United, and that United team was not a mere United team.
Okay.
We know Jaap Stamp, we know Dennis Beckham, Nicky Butt, Paul Scholes, Jordi Cruyff, Unya Obed and the code Dwight York, they all played. So then a United team because somebody treble. System, it was they still had the core of their team playing against Arsenal in that particular comp shot. But Arsenal and the United had to a more proper position by beating them 2-1. Fast forward, the next English Premier League side are also the treble. No, they've been doubles. But the next side of the trouble is Manchester City with coach FN Pep Guardiola. Another side from Manchester,
Silva Sports,
and almost say Inter Milan in the Champions League. Show they won the FA Cup, and Amababishia they won the league over Arsenal. That's like United AJ trouble over Arsenal. So
it's over trouble
over Arsenal. That's the Premier League. Now they are playing against Arsenal again in what you call the Community Shield. So the question I'm out for is say they see 1999 and where be and this time around 2023 and Pep Guardiola side AJ treble. That time was Sir Alex Ferguson from Manchester, AJ treble now National Community Shield. Man City from Manchester. Omaje treble, Mababishi Arsenal. Would there be a repeat or this time around the story in Besson? And we will look at that into details. This was just a brief question. Would there be a repeat or the history in the Besson? But first, there are some important questions. When Manchester United won the treble in 1999, when Barcelona won the treble in 2009 with Pep Guardiola, there was certain issues they see around the team. And massa teams, Omasa treble ni bi. So Shadrako screen so or come folder no, you see one picture, my name on a 3 in a row Premier League. It talks about teams at Jimmy J Premier League network twice or 3 times, or more twice. So you get that Manchester United side. One more in 1998-99, 1999-2000, and 2000 and 2001. So what it means is that United in 1999, I'm going to lose the community sale to Arsenal, but they'll win the league.
Okay.
Pep Guardiola side Manchester City. That's what the Premier League now to us 3. Coming up against Arsenal. Is there a chance that even if they lose this sale, they will have an effect on the league? And you have to analyze this thing. You need to go back to a 38-year-old Pep Guardiola. When Barcelona J treble, what happened? Out me to us to keep Barcelona moving. We need to go back to that 38-year-old. Now Pep Guardiola is 52 years. But again, the first treble, no, 38 years. Then no yes, our season, you know. Transfer window, then no yeah. And man, the team no course when you holding to course in the previous competition. You need to ask those questions. It's very, very important. Because we have Manchester City. There are people who believe that City are a decline. Looking at players from Lusu. Manchester City Lusu Ike Gundogan. Lusu Riyad Mahrez. One Cancelo, Emerick Laporte. It is obvious so be free team of Manchester City. Bernardo Silva at the end of has to show stay because I think if the right offer bar, Bernardo Silva just will play on your Manchester City team and wako. So it's Manchester City strengthen or weaken. Don't forget how many Arsenal have bono. No Netanaki and Kevin De Bruyne. So it's Manchester City that hungry for success. And fancy, the issue is very simple. Obi our face challenge that our failing. We face BMI approach it different. Pep Guardiola after winning the treble and making changes in the Barcelona team. So for 2 seasons running, or make 2 key changes. Thierry Henry back up. Zlatan Ibrahimovic be back. One year and Hobemanako. Rafael Marquez back up. That was Pep Guardiola. 2 seasons after winning the treble, Sabeje the Champions League again. Because fancy, one man that call players now or the same.
Yes.
It's your more Pep Guardiola is the same one. Muyemun Jane say, the money member from that is the formatter or the sustaining the team. He's always changing things. And the shadow can mammy 2022. Man City team on the ball Aston Villa. In the last day, Man City did the Premier League, you know, is on the screen. I will fold them nine shadow. Which screen is so fancy? That's the Manchester City team against Aston Villa or in May. Last game Man City said 3-2 and they achieved the Premier League. And what you realize is that Cancelo Laporte, their future is uncertain at Manchester City.
That time in Moji League, you know.
That was team league. And I'm trying to tell you how Pep Guardiola did be a personal system to keep the team motivated. Because United, after winning the treble in 1999, Roy Keane said the hunger for the players on the field now I switch it to Rolex and cars. The Roy Keane you know. Also United team they did treble in 1999, you know. And Brantian free boss. That hunger no more day yeah in 1999 on the year on if you have Rolex and the party in the big cars so so say Alex Ferguson engineer shuffle the team oh this side so my friend Brantian we are to us
because now as of fool say omuna ya jumadana kwa treble no and I san quite miraculous especially the Champions League final so omu deserve a bia continuation and yeah Makofa we are baby
but what happened was
that's only
and Roy Keane autograph for Troy. I said players need double ball ni free omumu. So Pep Guardiola himself you know. And not any time you about the trophy be and fancy. So why again say only desire so good team no akọ for before fra we are hungry for success. Ed never be see the team. That is how Pep Guardiola keep consistency with the team. So if you are thinking say City is losing players and rather bring them down, he knows how best to keep the hunger in his team. Pep Guardiola for you. Into the City team where Edison is still there. John Stones is still there.
Silva.
But only do I hear John Stones. What changing the role of John Stones? I'm on a different challenge. And with different challenge comes different desire to prove a point. Into a man was center back now. Obed feel comfortable. So he will take you out of your comfort zone. No, define a new road here now. And that new road
Another challenge.
Another challenge. So John Stones is still in the Manchester City team.
Silva
But will play in a different role. Now you talk about Fernandinho Oko, Zinchenko, Laporte and Van Cancelo. Their future is not certain. I'll come and talk about Josko Vardy. Oko Fifi, Bernardo Silva, Rodri, Kevin Dimaria, Maintaining. But Sterling and Riyad Mahrez, Eko. And Gabriel Jesus Eko and Aka Foden. So on paper, the likelihood that Manchester City team now just May 2022 or the Omoji Premier League, no, don't do a better no me core of the team baby in here. That is Pep Guardiola for you. Always change the team, define the roles of the players, keep them motivated. And Pep Guardiola had trouble in 1999. The following season was actually league, you know.
Forgetting.
Make up Pep Guardiola Barcelona.
Okay.
The following season of the league, you know. Right, me and the Champions League there, but constant changes of the team, no. Right, me and you know, in 2011, Obed. Yeah. So that is how I am in Yoma. So there's argument says City losing Mahrez, losing Ike Gundogan, a decline. Or I disagree because the coach has a plan, and the plan is bring new faces, keep those faces hungry, and push the team to the next level. It's people felt that Sterling, Gabriel Jesus, Riyad Mahrez was a working formula, but moving forward, you know Jack Grealish replacing basically Sterling, you know Erling Haaland, Ebeshe Gabriel Jesus, and I know you know Bernardo Silva, a move from midfield. That is one thing people didn't realize last season. At the point, Bernardo Silva free the central midfield. After no born was left wing hopper and a right wing hopper. That front three of Manchester City, what happened? That hunger for success. So let's leave the Manchester City team. And I believe that big question so may decline. That will not be the story. Once Yanka survives you once. May come in the Bible community soon. Chara can go food and I'm a name the Josko Vardy. Na yenya no ho. Pep Guardiola started with Otamendi Vincent Company. And Oji John Stones Beckham. Later on Otamendi Beckham. Then Emerick Laporte became. Oh, changes. Otamendi call you. And don't forget, Otamendi time as City in the first Premier League under Pep Guardiola. Now the Premier League team of the season, Otamendi no boy Chilhudi. So one flop. He played very well with Vincent Company. John Stones he deputized it. But when he said there be a someone then on the Laporte by, and Laporte was a sensation for Manchester City. Along the line on the Ruben Diaz by. Last season or the Manuel Akanji by, and now or the Josko Vardy never. Now first, when you are looking at a player, Pep Guardiola, the prototype of the signing defenders and sign. He's always looking at defenders who are comfortable on the ball. And clearly, life is like a brand here. Fancy. Croatia, the boy. When it comes to line breaking passes from a defender, and then a problem. It's not actually line breaking passes from defender in the World Cup. You realize that Josko Vardy is rated among the top 5.
Okay, so line breaking passes. Center backs at 2022 World Cup.
2022 World Cup. Red was center back. Also, Rodri was center back for
Spain. Yeah. John Laporte and Josko Vardy. So remember, there's a Rodri there. So as a midfielder, they were called central defense. They're all a good passer on the ball ready. So I know I'm 83. John Stones 75. Josko Vardy 74.
Yes.
Between Vardy and Christian Romero, 10 differences. 64.
Yes.
It's
a World Cup, no, one of the biggest stages in the world of football.
One Stones here one.
And Stones here one. And they say Pep Guardiola, you call World Cup defenders are not more passing ball and breaking defensive lines. No, I was a summer bunny team. So the way of operating with defenders means society.
Silva.
You need a defender that is comfortable on the ball, That will start the tempo from the back, will start the rhythm from the back. Pep Guardiola come from Abante and just go bad. Now, so I can my images. Don't go through the images. It's still in the folder. What you realize that it will show us different occasions. Josco Vardy, Emma defense splitting passes. Saga, focus on this picture. Just talk about
against Belgium.
Until the picture we now move it to the next Belgium now. Belgium there now. First, this is Vardy in his first defensive third. And that's all in the defensive zone. What you say in this particular scene, in less than 10 seconds, Obed surge forward. A push ball now the Aqua could do the final third of Belgium in 10 seconds. In 66 minutes, 23 seconds. So that you should one on next one. What you realize is that against Belgium, no, by the time you drew 66 minutes, 31 seconds, no one can say a push ball no, do the final third of Belgium. And in this case, most defenders will easily go in for pass because you have a midfielder like Rakitic and Modric. Again, Brozovic in the middle.
So and
in 26 seconds, so 3 seconds from a chill one passable now mobile or pushing the bar center circle. Now with 2 players around him, most center backs without confidence, my people on every match. I'm going to do center circle. Then I'm here. We passing myself no, I'm running in between 2 Belgium midfielders. No, the ball could do the final third. That is the confidence. Boy, or the pier, and this is what Pep Guardiola wants. The amount Pep Guardiola, any JMR Laporte go find about anyway, and the amount Pep Guardiola go find John Stones anyway. The amount go find Rodri, about the team no, nay how on the the press resistance in the central areas. Once the central area near crowded, how only Pep bro. So what's the ball? Near personal to be resisting release ball, retaining ball, a circulating possession here. Pep Guardiola
and this cinematic Kovacic had an influence.
Exactly.
Yeah. The move to City no.
And first, these are also examples.
Yeah.
This is against
so between the 5 Morocco players no, American players no. What mean as an incisive pass?
No, those who are watching us on TV and Facebook, he executed this pass properly. 3 players are pressing him. The immediate line of passively, the left back of Croatia. This is the function and option, but he's being pressed by Hakimi. So Hakimi, this is Croatia against Morocco. Hakimi are pressing on. First moving on. Look at Modric now. No super possible. There are 2 players. There is 1 player just in front of him. And 2 me for one name look at Modric. But look at how I didn't 9 bill come. Ever possible and breaking the defensive line of Morocco or breaking 2 defensive lines with 1 pass. That is what is on the screen. And it's a Pep Guardiola confirm player we be saying the team number. The eagerness to prove a point, creating a new ambition for the Manchester City. And the fancy. So repeat the ass now. They say watch the Premier League in me and some Manchester City. Now you are comfortable. One out to one City team they say maybe a trim. Otamendi were Premier League player of the season under Pep Guardiola with Jana Quine. Same Manchester City team there were on Emerick Laporte and be both fixing Man City defensive problems or Monaco. Same Manchester City team now one cancel with me man called the and your team despite winning the treble will not be lazy. And that is how Pep Guardiola keeps the hunger in his team with new faces. And I'm telling everybody. Then me catch you say Ike Gundogan transfer to Barcelona. Extremely underrated. But the replacement as City did the team, no, almost nobody is talking about him.
Kovacic.
Exactly. In as much as we talk about transfers, you can't be impossible to talk Kovacic. But Kovacic in the style of play and the talent of one what the name of coach with self friend Pep Guardiola, how a transformer midfielders are. What was a match made in heaven for Manchester City?
So commanding as in a Bobo Crab form. We're going to a bench woman.
Silva, but you're a super player. It's what you look at Pep Guardiola and sir. Guardiola naturally as a central midfielders wanted there. Ordinance and Kawa, or do call the next level. Into Matthew Kovacic's experience, power, dear Bob Boy. No about the Manchester City team. People think that is about so
come to say players no crabby I done signing the Anna so far matches from a boy, Kovacic's performance in those games and so really I say I'm in JBA Barcelona. All those are good one. I capture about 7 seasons but a month
into Kovacic Abba. And then there's one player, Alvarez, Julian Alvarez. Says you ain't a chef my Pep Guardiola be fast way use boy. You know it's a about Samaris corner. Pep decided on sign you be. Have you asked yourself how Pep Guardiola planning using Julian Alvarez? Because you know Obia, including what team any fancy what hey. You know to say Alvarez he dear. You're betting me no as a Pep man quine. It's a Riyad Mahrez. Have you asked yourself the question? Say, Pep beating about Alvarez Waka, Haaland who anyone. So that is also an asset. Our young fan ready to
say 3-5-2B. Obed because Premier League no we are the flowing season as well by target.
And so you need to change the system. And Sadak Mame Alvarez ne performance. So if Oshe Alvarez, the goal ratio, any efficiency in the box, fancy this is Alvarez for you. 17 goals in all competition for Manchester City. Player was 17 goals in all competition for Manchester City. You bet me I am more. And only player to Man City for the bench. You might never know. So only asset this season. Pep Guardiola Edine Babe Brew so you never know. So don't rule the Manchester City team out just because of the Silva City team. Pep Guardiola has won the treble before. And he knows how to maintain a team after winning trophies. And until the Premier League, the Pep, at the are on the verge of winning it for the 4th time. And until the Pep Guardiola, what the Barcelona get treble in the following season, first you are the Spanish Super Cup or the UEFA Super Cup, the World Cup Club Championship, it defending the league title with that time 99 points, and it was a record until say later. It was broken by Jose. And after winning the league in fancy or winning the treble, Pep Guardiola at 39 that time, it make he put the momentum of his team. By the time only 40 years, not the sad team, no, as I the champion league, say an experience now, also. Our son was scattered, this is the time I'm doubt Nana. Don't doubt Manchester City. They still have the asset to worry every club on Messiamo, despite the assets or when you weak inside. That is what I think this particular time. And I believe Haaland might even do more than they were in the last season. City are fixing the defense, we're fixing the midfield, and we're improving the attack. Don't forget how Obed used Abante friend Julian Alvarez. So don't rule City out.
Okay.
Now, my menfa winning Brana FA Cup. No. Maka Arsenal or say United after United J treble. Community Shield no. After say United J treble, Maka Chiro. Arsenal don't do well against Manchester City. But our Wembley is a different story. Because we're Wembley, I defeated City in 2017 and I defeated City in 2020. Our Wembley, all in the FA Cup. So in as much as when Arsenal bought against Manchester City, in the last 7 games, fancy, City were an average or aggregate of 21-4. There's almost Arsenal power. But with Wembley, the story is different. That is the picture. So what Pep against Arteta? A pure issue of Akola when you're penny when you're Akola or Bon. City have been beating Arteta, beating the life out of Arteta. And this season, if Arsenal want to win the league, they must find ways of going to Etihad and recording points, find ways of going to Stamford Bridge and winning, find ways of going to Anfield and winning. That is the problem of Arsenal. Last season, Arsenal, they struggle against the big clubs. Fancy, I think tradition goes on. In as much as Arsenal can have it, I'm a timber.
Silva Sports.
I don't think this Manchester City team a bad set. Jubilation. So Pep is a manager. He's always demanding perfection from his players. Statistics need the fancy. Arsenal, our Wembley are there. Looking at how they play against Manchester City. But this year, I'm going to fancy City actually Arsenal 3 times. And anytime on Beshi and Ombiano, you see the dominance from Manchester City. I see Man City dominating again. And I see Manchester City winning again. Yes, Arsenal will be a thorn in the flesh of Manchester City this season. Minyam preview Arsenal team, I'll preview it another day.
Okay.
But there will be a thorn in the flesh of Manchester City this season, with the additions, no, the last time I make sure variations are Arteta makes me a varying attack, with the kind of players and how versatile players they are. Bukayo Saka is one-dimensional player. Martinelli is a dimensional player. Kai Havertz is a one-dimensional player. They can all adjust depending on how you set them on the field. But penny, I'm going for a Manchester City win. So the history will not repeat itself. Arsenal defeated United after winning the treble in the Community Shield. But I don't think Arteta can do same against Manchester.
Well, so very much me that say. Me very much one analysis in ho. Sheikh Usman Dembele on Twitter. Or say the best weekend show in Ghana is airborne. Fans, you enjoyed the holiday and starved as the sports news yesterday, but thank God you back.